Hi everybody, it's Jeanie from Clifton's Crafty Casa. Welcome to my page and welcome to Friday Friends and YouTube channel. I want to be transparent and this is a recorded video, so I hope you enjoy it. I've taken a pumpkin that I bought from Joann Fabrics, from Joann's, and I've painted it plaster chalk paint by Waverly, and I have together the leaves. The leaves kind of fold down like that, and I don't want to get them all messed up, so I've got them clipped up at the top so that they stay out of the way of the decoupage medium. We're going to put a napkin on here, and the napkin I chose is these pretty blue and orange leaves. See how pretty that is? And I have 3 napkins. I don't know if I'll use 3 napkins, but I have them just in case. And the one, it's only a 2-ply napkin, so we're going to take the other ply off of the napkin like that, because we want it to sit on that napkin, because if you did it with both sides of the napkin together, it's not going to stick. It'll come off. This will stay on it, but that won't stay on it. So you want the colored part to be able to stay on. So I'm going to use decoupage medium, and I make my own. I use, I put it in a jar, and I use 2 parts Elmer's glue, school glue, just white glue, and 1 part distilled water. Make sure it's distilled because you don't want it to mold up on you in the jar. And because you won't use I made a whole big bunch, and so that'll be good for until probably Christmas. All right, so I am going to start by putting some decoupage medium on my pumpkin, and I'm not worried about where I put my napkin, but I'm going to start up at the top, and I'm going to take my napkin, and I'm just going to tear it into pieces, because I don't want a huge piece, and I don't want this orange piece on the side, so I'm going to tear that off, kind of like a border type thing. And it doesn't matter what it looks like, because it's going to be covered up. I'm going to take my brush, and my decoupage brush, and I'm just going to put that down in that decoupage medium by brushing it down in there, making sure that all of those parts are stuck to the pumpkin, just like that. Let me put you down just a little bit so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and go around this. I could use my water pan and just get rid of this orange, but it's not that big a deal, so I'm just going to, because I'm going to tear this napkin anyway, so I'm just going to tear it off. You see I have my fan on because that one just went flying, got caught in the wind. Okay, so I'm just going to do some tearing, and this way it will, I don't worry about the lines or how many are in each spot, all of that stuff. And I don't have too big of a piece to work with. That's why I tear it off. And it makes it look really cool. So you want to make sure that you get decoupage medium along the edge where you are going to put your paper, and on top of the other paper that you already put down, because we will have some overlap. Okay, so you want to put that down in there, and I'm just going to tear some of that off of there. It's kind of too big of a piece because I didn't do any down here. I need to put some on the pumpkin down below. And anyway, so I've decoupaged lots of these paper mache pumpkins. They are beautiful to use for decor. You can put them, and they're indoor unless you spray them with outdoor things. But the issue is they're very light, and so if you have any wind, which I do, I live in Nevada in the desert, and wind is every day, every day. So I don't put these outside because I would lose them all. They would all go down the street with the wind. So that's what it's looking like now. Isn't that a beautiful napkin? It's, I don't know if I bought it from Tuesday mornings or what. I had quite a few of them. These are my last 3. So it's beautiful fall colors. I love the orange and the blue. The blue is one of my favorites. The blue color. And so you just work this out and go around and get it done. Okay, I just started it going a little faster for you so you wouldn't have to watch me do this whole thing so slowly. And I'm just making sure that everything is covered with decoupage medium before I put my paper down, and then when I put it down I just put decoupage medium over top of it as well to lay it down into the spots. Now we're going to go towards the middle. We've got all the top done, and we're just going to continue to put it over top of the other. It's okay, it just blends right in. You can't really tell where anything ends or begins too much. I want to put some down here. Pull it out just a bit. It is a napkin, so you need to be just a little bit careful with it, because it is pretty fragile. So you just keep doing that, and I'm just going to probably speed this video up in places so that you can see what's going on. I'm going to put my scissors right here so it stops rolling. I want it to roll this way just a bit. Here we go. If you have too big of a piece of paper, it is kind of difficult. So just go ahead and put one on there and once you've got some of it down and it's wet, it's going to tear very easily off of there. So don't worry about keeping the big pieces together. Little pieces are a lot easier to put on. So I need to get the second napkin that I had done. I think we'll be able to do this with 2 napkins. This is awesome. Okay, now that we have all of that covered, you want to check and see if there's any part that isn't all the way down. And we could even go around and make sure that it's all covered really well. We could do a whole nother coat of decoupage medium. It wouldn't hurt at all. Just make sure that it's all down and let it dry. And do the bottom a little bit too. Okay, and I'm just going to set that down. I'm going to get all this extra paper out of the way so it doesn't hook onto there and make a mess. Where we have the we need to make sure that this is sealed as well as everything else is. So just make sure the top part is sealed just as much as the sides and the bottom. Good. So I want to paint these a color. I don't necessarily want them to still be paper mache, and so I think the stem I'm going to use burnt umber. It's one of my go-to colors, and I'm just going to use it out of the lid. You just need to make sure you clean your lid after a while. And I'm just going to use a little scruffy brush so that I can make all of these lines brown as well. And I want this to be a brown underneath the leaf here. a good brown stem. And then I want to do, I'm going to do just a swipe down the middle where that piece of wire is down the middle, just quickly. And then I'm going to get out another brush and I'm going to use some this is called New Leaf Green. It's one of my new favorites, and this is from Deco Art. It might be too light for a pumpkin. Yeah, it's going to be too light, but we're going to put a little bit of orange on it to make it, I think we can get the orange to make it look a little older, because the pumpkin leaves are turning as well as the pumpkins turned when they became ripe. And I'll let that dry, and then I'll put on a little bit of orange, I do believe, on there. I might just use some wax. That's probably what I'll use. Use some dark wax in there. I love my dark wax. And if any project comes with something I can make it look darker or vintage, then I'm going to do it. I probably should also paint the back side of these, since they might curl up in, might not lay flat like this. I bet they do, but you want to finish your projects as best you can, especially if you're going to sell them. And you should always finish your project. The back sides of everything. Okay, this one's almost dry over here. I'm going to look at it. It had a little spot right there that didn't take to the green. I'm going to turn it up, and I'm going to paint it on the other side. Paint it on the underside here. I'm going to stick it in the brown, and I'm just going to add some brown to it. I think that will help it look a little older. Let's do that. Let's just do the brown. I got a little too much on one side, but that's okay. This might not be seen very much at all, so it's going to be all right. So we'll just do that and make that a little bit brown on that side of the leaf. We're going to let it dry before we bend it. Let's do the back of this one as well. Need a little bit more paint in my lid. I'm I'm just going to dump into the brown right away and see if I can make that a little bit different. Gotta get way down in there. Probably can't see that, my head's in the way, and it's a little difficult for me to see. I'm just touching it a little bit and doing a zigzag to make it so that it doesn't look all brown or all green. Just touch a little bit. Okay. Oh my gosh. I'll wipe those off. I have put them to the side and let it do its thing and dry off. And so there we have a beautiful pumpkin for display for your house, anywhere around, and I love it. So you can get a paper mache pumpkin almost anywhere. This one was very nice because it had this extra stuff on the top, but you can get them anywhere and use napkins to decorate with and make it look beautiful. I appreciate your time. Thank you for coming and watching Clifton's Crafty Casa. So I decided I needed to add a little bit of moss to my pumpkin around the stem and the leaves to give it a little more genuine look of a pumpkin, kind of out in the field. However, of course it's not because of the decoupage, but anyway, it looks great. I love it, and I hope you give this a try. I appreciate you watching Clifton's Crafty Casa here, and I hope you will subscribe, like, and comment on anything you see. Thank you so much. Have a perfect day.